Do you
We're
submit
on.
your team before you put the save file
Usually. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Swemp Electronics Football Alliance Division 2. That's the one. You may have caught my co-commentator saying hello there, Mr. Scott. Good evening, Scott. How are you doing?
up? Evening, Dan, and evening, Swemp fans, Champ fans, and all around good people. How are we all doing?
I'm sure the world is doing well today. Good question, Scott. Sometimes I put my my team on the save file, and other times I put it on just make sure I edit my team first before looking at anybody else's. But it's something I will do in the next rounds for the rest of the season. I think is just put my team on and then send the save out. So basically, whoever's playing me knows what team I've got, which will be all right. Last time we played, these were the scores, and it was quite the set of fixtures there, wasn't it? Good. I just say, looking at the chat there, Stu, good evening, Stu, and Steve, good evening, Steve, as well. What did you make of last time out, Scott?
I caught most of the show. It was quite good. Lots of goals, exciting, which is what we all want. Some close games, and then some goal fests. So a really good rounded night of action.
Some real goal fests indeed, and look at that. I mean, this doesn't happen often, does it? Sporting Clube Originale, Steve's side scoring 4 goals.
Yeah, it's unheard of. Unbelievable stuff.
Some good evening, Smuts. Getting bumped. Smuts has made himself first reserve for all commentary this season. So anyone who comes in is immediately bumping him off commentary. And even Mr. Savage, I noticed you had a lovely time watching some animated, people in costumes dancing around this weekend. I hope you really enjoyed that. A quick look towards the table before we move on to the rest of it. Sprungfelt, Mr. Savage's team, top of the league so far, 2 points clear of a very close chasing pack of Boston, Badgers and Grove.
Yeah, I think this is my second time on commentary this season, and I mentioned that I was such a big fan of the Sprungfelt concept and squad, and there's some low-key, very, very good players in there, but unfortunately for Mike and the rest of the league, Badgers have decided that we're going to take it seriously. So we're going to win the league and everybody's going to have to play catch-up.
Yes, a bit of... the fact you are playing seriously leaves it a bit troublesome for tonight, because, of course, you're playing my side, so that's going to be quite the action there, 3rd versus 5th.
Yeah, it should be a really good game. We've gone relatively unchanged in terms of shape, just one personnel change, purely because Tato was a big fan of the system, and if we win, generally we don't change it. That's actually wrong. Tato normally does what he wants, unless he's busy, and then I get a nudge to pick a team. But because we've been playing well, we're just sort of gone as is. But Zizi is on top, so Smuts can stop with the insults and have a little chuckle about
that. Yes, get it in before he does, but I'm sure it'll be there 3 or 4 times in the chat tonight. Having a look at the two teams we've got there, 29 goals. Not 29 goals, 26 goals between us. Mega Horse providing the attacking quality there, but Badgers with the joint best defence, so it'll be interesting going into that one a bit later on. For me, I'm quite interested in seeing how the match between Red West and Pelham goes on tonight. Can Red West get off the mark, or do the Grimsby boys have enough? Dimble's just arrived. Perfect timing.
Do they have a point yet, Red West?
Yes. How did they get that? I can't remember how they got it. They got it against Aussie's Dream, a 1-1 draw, and with Shea scoring the goal and going off injured, and then a 90th minute equaliser. I mean, that was nearly a famous victory, and I completely forgot about it. So we'll have a little look at tonight's games, and let's get started. I didn't even look at today's fixtures, did I? Did I look at today's fixtures? Can't even remember. Have a quick look to them.
Briefly, we did briefly.
Briefly, indeed, yeah. Badgers versus Mega Horse. It's going to be on last. Blues versus Esporting Clube Divisionale is actually our opening game for tonight. I'm sure. I think I told Quinton the wrong opposition for tonight. I'm sure I told him he was up against Grove, but it's Fortuna versus Danglies, Flamingos versus Boston, Grove against Gondor, Red West Pacific versus Pelham, and Sprungfelt versus Aussie's Dream. So let's get started on these games, and we'll go into these. Yeah, it's me saying, did we talk about the fixtures? And I've just been talking to you about them. Completely miles away. Asking you what you thought about the Pelham game. So anyway, our opening game, we go to Stee with his Sporting Clube Divisionale. There we are. So for today, after their wonderful victory last week, they've made some changes to the system, but I don't think it's only one change to the actual personnel. Is Sherko coming on up front? Oh, and Tiernan's in defence as well.
Yeah, I don't mind Tiernan for this sort of level. I'm not sure he cuts it in Division 1. Not really sure on a sweeper. I tried it a few times, but not too seriously. I've not had a great deal of success with it, so promptly just dispatched it. Apart from that, if you take the sweeper away, it's a solid back line, it's a solid midfield. There's some good players in there. I'm not sure about Victory at centre half, but I think generally you sign Victory for his creativity. It looks pretty solid. Be interesting to see whether that sweeper can work and can have an impact. I think a lot of the time it's well documented that if you play three at the back, one of them generally sort of finds himself with not a great deal to do and normally a low rating and not a lot of tackles, not a lot of contributions. So it'll be interesting to see what they're up against and whether they can get enough ball and bodies forward to create chances with just that one attacker.
Yeah, lots of attacking arrows suggest that Steve is certainly going balls deep tonight. We'll see if he can manage that one. We know that Smuts is watching on 42-inch TV. Superb stuff. I hope you've got the surround sound going on, because you know what quality commentary we've got going on here. Mr. Dickon Sanford, come on everyone except Dublin. There's a bit of a thing to that with Dublin Blues under new management for tonight, and it's Mr. Rocks in charge.
No, just about to say, am I right in thinking that Rocks is now in charge? So this is Rocks' side. Who's Rocks taken over from?
That's from Graham Dunning, who won the league last season with Blues, but changed team, and the squad wasn't necessarily strong enough to cope in Division 1, so he said he'll stay in Division 2. It just hasn't worked out. He's got very busy, and at least he said, it's probably best to hand it over to somebody else, and it's probably a team that has a lot of players that Rocks would probably use in certain saves, do you imagine?
Yeah, absolutely. The funky arrows don't surprise me in terms of something that Rocks would produce. No issue with Duff playing defensive midfield.
No, I'm going to see how he gets on there. Obviously, we know he's extremely versatile, isn't he?
He can play Duff pretty much anywhere along that defensive midfield. Some exciting, creative plays out wide. David Collins, who we all know is capable. Mark Anthony as a bit of a target man. And some really solid players. So it should be, I would think, an exciting game. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing how Rocks goes on as well.
Especially with Matt Kerr sat on his bench as well. Look at the comments
I'll
there.
I'll be honest, I'm quite surprised that Kerr's made the bench.
It's probably out of necessity that maybe, this isn't the entire squad he absolutely loved, but he's in his 16, and it'll be interesting to see just how he gets on there. A Canadian roundabout. It's also probably quite an English roundabout as well going on there as well. Let's have a little look and see how they get on. But that news on Paulo Nunes that considering a new contract with his agent believes he can get a better contract elsewhere. Well, he's not leaving, is he? So any news? Clint Hill's back in training.
Shut the fuck up.
Pure hatred. What are the other options? Scally is injured. I mean, Richie Wellens was the other option. And I suppose, does he have a hatred for Wellens as well?
I'm not sure, to be honest. But he's got Walker in there, got Duff in there, and all these guys. So, he's got options. I guess he probably will utilise Wellens at some point. Be nice to see Wellens, Walker, and Kerr in a central three.
All together, yes.
Yeah, all together. Make it happen, box. Make it happen.
One of my favourite named referees in Sweden there, Morgan Norman. So any predictions for today?
Yeah, I'm going to predict a comprehensive Blues victory. I think they'll probably score at least 3. Steve will be lucky to have a shot on target. I'm going to go 3 or 4-0 Blues.
3 or 4-0. Well, let's get cracking. And the early start shots at the attack is going on for Blues. Mark Anthony, of course, with three goals in 2 games this season, and the team already going for it. Quinton, good evening. 2-1 prediction there for Blues as well, and chances certainly going more Blues way. Then Zagara goes down the other end and makes it 1-0 to Sporting Clube Divisionale, and Agostinho nearly scores to make it 2-0. Chances coming in for Divisionale. Smut saying 9-6 to Divisionale. It started off with lots of attack going on. Williams going forward, a good save from Mark Tyler, who's already on a 9 after just 25 minutes into this game. He's looking pretty strong defensively. In fact, the performance has gone all the way for Divisionale at the moment, and it's 2-0. And Agostinho it is, who's made it 2. David Collins going forward. Anthony's put one just off target as well. And the chance is still coming forward for Divisionale at the moment. This is quite the performance going on here in the first half. Oh, another chance for Anthony. Good. Mark Tyler has performed extremely well in that first half, and completely against what I suppose people were saying.
I think I owe Steen an apology because they've been exceptional first half. Relatively even, but they've been clinical. So sorry for that, Steve. And for Rocks, I guess that's what you get for playing David Prutt centre half and having Mike Kerr on the bench.
Yeah, and I suppose he'll learn little bits about which players he wants to get rid of from his first team anyway. Obviously not getting rid of from his squad over the course of the season. And just going to go to the Divisionale team first, who are performing well.
Really well. Solid from front to back. John Curtis, as I mentioned, obviously not having I was going to say not having a great deal to do, but actually he's just not been very good. Just 1 tackle out of 5 complete.
Yeah.
Apart from that, still be really pleased. Tyler's had a really good game, kept him in it. Agostino with a goal and looking busy. Really good half.
And he still wants to make a change up front. Not convinced that 2 goals is enough necessarily, or just thinking Sherko's hitting them off target quite a bit. We have a look over at Blues, who have no sub plans unless there's an injury during this game. So there's be going Batrinu, who's been pretty poor so far. Yeah,
it doesn't make good reading when your centre half's not completely attack on. He's on a booking and he's on a 5. 4 players not getting in the game. Creative players not as involved as Steve's creative players. Prutt and wasted at centre back. Not ideal really. It's a shame Rockland's not about to try and have an impact second half because there is some quality on the bench. But see how it rolls.
Yeah, and what's your view on Taribo West? I think the more time that passes, the more sort of mixed opinions people have on him.
I'm a fan of Taribo West. I think Taribo West can do you a job at any level, right from the bottom to the very top. And that's it. Simple as that.
Wooder arrives on the chat there. He's been very nice to us. Wooder, if you are around for next match, you are on next. So, just let us know if you want to stick on. Second half has kicked off, and the first half already showing was a lot more entertaining. ball coming forward again. Agostinho with another chance. It shows just how well he's playing in this position that he's got there of the wing back that's been extremely attacking. And Zagara there on a 10. It's a superb start to the match for him. Well, first hour of the game. Let's have a quick look and see fitness-wise how they're getting on. Estai there, 84%. He's just a little bit tired. And Agostinho has slightly worn himself out with a shin injury. But yeah, we're just waiting to see if Steve makes any calls. But that 10 is looking very, very good there for Pablo Zagara.
Yeah, really impressive. They've just kicked on second half. Looks like Blues have not really created a great deal. And to be honest, if I still wouldn't be tempted to do a great deal, I'd just leave it and let it roll.
Estai Stoltzers for early. I was thinking, who's that? Yeah, there we go. Stoltzers for Estai. And I think that one is... it's Smuts would rather be watching Skins Season 2, Episode 5. Oh, sorry, Series 2. They're not called seasons in England, are they? No one ever called them that. Just a quick look over at Blues. They'll be sticking as is for the rest of the game. And let's see what sort of action we get in this last half hour. Again, more chances for Divisionale. The second half is looking more and more their way. And Zagara Stoltzers with a chance as well. 15 minutes to go. Toribos picks himself up to an 8, so it shows that the defence is certainly improved over this second half. But Williams has made it 2-1, and this will be an interesting last few minutes. And Mike Duff comes off injured. Is Rialati, can he play on the right, Rialati, or is he just central? Yeah, right. So, I mean, you could see him and Dean Keats going in maybe into central role. Yeah. That's probably the one, unless he wants to put Victory on his opposite flank. We shall see what Steve says.
Come on, Steve, I haven't got all fucking night.
I have. I used to start these at nearly midnight, so don't you worry about Aki on the right.
I'm in no rush, but it wouldn't be a night involving Champ if I didn't give Steve a bit of grief.
There we are, Dean Keats. This will be interesting to see if they can hold on. I'm not going to slow the commentary down. It's it's a feature in other leagues, which I won't copy everything. And Zagara with another chance to score just before the end of the game. Down the other end, no, it's full time, and Divisionale pull off a great victory there. Looking very, very strong in that performance. And Pablo Zagara, what a performance he had, and Divisionale deserve it on chances.
Yeah, I was just going to say that it's probably going to look quite an even game, but I think Steve's boys were in control for at least 65 minutes there.
Yes, yeah, that second half, apart from the goal, really there was very little that Blues offered.
And I think Blues have, to be fair to Blues, they've done well to come out of that with only Batchnu getting less than a 7 in terms of ratings. The first half didn't look great at all.
No, it didn't, did it? Especially, when you're on like 5s and 6s at half time for a lot of the players. I mean, they can come with some credit. And, Mark Anthony's one of those players I know very, very little about, but he's been pretty impressive in his 3 performances so far.
Yeah, I probably know less about him than you, to be completely honest. Not sure what else they've got in terms of options. Obviously, Nunez is not happy. I'm not sure what they've got kicking around. But yeah, like I said, I don't know a great deal about him.
No, I don't at all.
Zagara's obviously had a great game, goal and an assist, and contributed with his tackles and all that sort of stuff. I think that the guys that Steve's brought on have not had a great impact. Probably just slowed the pace of the game down a little bit and stopped that momentum that they had. But they've done enough, and they'll be pleased, get out there with 3 points and move on.
And the loss of Duff could be vital going forward. Stu's brought it to our attention. I had looked at this earlier and I'm ready to watch it. The Impossible Job, the Graham Taylor documentary, on at 11:10 tonight on Channel 4. So, we do need to be finished by that time, certainly, to watch a quality documentary, which, to be honest, I've only seen clips of before, but the Quickly Kevin episode was very interesting about that one, so I will be watching that later on.
Yeah, I might stick that on in bed.
Quinton also suggests we should watch something at, I think, 10 o'clock. I think he suggested something at 10 on Channel 4. Something like, what's it called? Something like My Breastfeeding Boyfriend or something like that. I can't remember what it's. Something interesting there. He's recommended that to me tonight. He said, it's quality viewing, I assume. Anyway, Dangley's versus Fortuna. Mutu wants a new contract, so we shall offer that contract to him. And Dangley's reverting to almost the same lineup that played 2 games ago, because last game it did not work out the experiment they did, and they've gone back to a formation that's been kind of working so far.
Yeah, relatively strong squad, to be honest. Quite a concept. I think the manager fits in well with the concept of players. There's obviously some real quality in there. Tony Adams is solid. Ryan Giggs, Lee Hughes will probably score goals. So yeah, I think depending on how Fortuna line up, I think it'll be a relatively close game.
Yes, I mean the two teams are performing reasonably well this season, aren't they? And just 2 places, one goal and 1 point apart in terms of the everything. So yeah, very very even. And we look to the Fortuna side, and today Romeo's back up front, and that should make a bit of a difference to them. He's been in decent form this season, and he's been suffering with an injury recently.
Yeah, again another strong side. Yeah, I like it. There's some real good players in there. Zeriberto you would obviously point out as the key man.
I think he was sent off recently as well. He's been sent off this season, but still managing to get that nearly 8 average rating.
Yeah, and you would expect him to start contributing more with assists and probably goals. Not too sure how much you're going to get out of those 2 guys in attacking midfield. Obviously, both stacked with potential in the editor, but not too sure how much they will actually contribute. But sorry, who was that you just clicked on?
That was Peralta. Yeah, Nakamura's been playing much better.
Yeah, that's a very good version of Peralta. So yeah, it'd be interesting. Not a fan of Dybala. But apart from that, yeah, two very good lineups, 2 very even lineups. Expecting a close game, hopefully attacking and lots of goals and chances.
No, let's hope so. George Weah on the bench for the first time this season, and Mike Origi keeping his place as sub-keeper for today as well. So we'll see how he gets on. I don't know if you heard before, he does actually have 10 for goalkeeper as his rating there. So
what, 1 for handling?
I don't think I'm not sure it is 1 on the editor. I'm not entirely sure what its handling rating is, but all keepers tend to have really low things if they're not classed as a keeper. Like Campos has got 6 for shooting. Yeah, it's probably about 14 really. So we'll see. George Weah, number 23. I'm sure he's number 23 before. Was that a Chelsea or something? He had that shirt. Anyway, yeah. Predictions for this one? You said close.
Yeah, excuse me. Goals. 2-2. I think Lee Hughes might score. Romeo will score. Not sure about the rest. 2-2.
and not bothered from Wooler, of course. Well, it's not picking on the fact that he didn't spell it correctly, but let's get it started. And the immediate attacks coming forward for Fortuna. They're looking pretty lively as it stands. Nakamura's ball into Romeo nearly produced a goal. Then Lee Hughes with the chance and Tybee making a save. Higuita, the only player who's gone up to a 7 so far in this match. Woodgate trying to join him, playing pretty well defensively. It suggests that the defences are out there on top. Not a lot to say about the actual quality of performances so far. Chance there for Lee Hughes again. Nakamura with another chance and Mark Kerr as well. And it's starting to liven up a little bit there. The ball in and Peralta to Romeo when it's 1-0. And there's, I'm sure you mentioned Romeo would score. It's looking quiet again as Giggs come forward to Merson with a chance and then back out. 5 minutes to half time. It's definitely more Dangley's in these last few minutes, but then the ball forward and Dybala with a chance. And then down the other end, it's Lee Hughes, maybe Woodgate in towards Rosicki, but nothing quite happening there. And Ince taking a yellow card half time. Well, it's certainly livened up, and you could say that. Well, I suppose looking at that, Fortuna are deserving as they stand.
Yeah, it felt like there was maybe even a few more chances than that. After the first sort of 10, 15 minutes, it's sort of a bit like game of tennis, back and forward, but maybe just a little bit of lack of quality. But yeah, Romeo taking his chance, Peralta with the assist. Just pretty solid, nothing exceptional in there, nothing drastically bad. The chances have fallen to the people that you want them to fall to. And I think Quinton will be relatively happy with that.
Yeah, and they've been exchanging pleasantries there, the managers, at half time.
Yeah.
In their usual manner. Wooder's saying no subs, and he's done that without seeing his team. Quinton saying no subs as well. Yeah. So the game has a nice pace to it going forward as well. Romeo's hit the side netting with another chance, and he's had another shot. He's certainly looking like he's up for some more goals today. As it stands, obviously he could end up being subbed in a few minutes, who knows. But subs are on their way, and they have arrived now. Filipescu, the only 6 there for Fortuna. And Peralta, it is, down on 78. He's suffering with a poorly foot. So we'll see if anything's happening there. Ince coming off for Koe. I suppose it's that yellow card is looking a bit dangerous.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be looking to change my back three regardless of ratings unless I was getting beat. Apart from that, I'd definitely be looking to get Peralta off and maybe, I don't know, maybe even throw George Weah in there.
Yeah, it'd be Weah or Jordi Harris. Yeah, it is going to be Jordi Harris coming on. He can come on anywhere, can't he? Extremely versatile player. So we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely.
See what he does. Posmer on, says Smuts. There'll be no changes for Dangley's at this point, but he claimed no changes before he'd seen anything. Umit Davala again looking extremely lively. Yeah, I suppose he's a good solid 7 every time without being spectacular, isn't he? And I don't think he's made an assist this season unless he didn't set up the goal, did he either? Yeah, it's quieter. Fortuna still just edging this game as it stands. And late one in. Oh, so close. Memre. Last seconds of the game. Giggs going forward and Di Canio, but nothing coming of it. And a 1-0 victory for Fortuna. And Benoit Koe, playing the last 26, half an hour of this game, has ended up with man of the match.
Yeah, that was pathetic from Dangley's, really. Second half, they've created nothing, literally nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Fortuna have got better. They've just seen the game out, relatively comfortable. So, yeah, pretty straightforward win for Quinton. Expected more from Danglers, to be honest. Maybe you need to get that with one file back out, would
it? I was just noticing Mr. Rocks, good evening, suggesting that Battery News getting sold for glue. A certain type of glue looking at it as well. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they come back, but they're not going to be that weak again. And Division Ali certainly had a superb match for a change there. Quinton saying good game to Wooder, and Wooder with his usual pleasantries. There's not a lot to say about the attacking threat, but they were at least pretty good in defence.
No, yeah, and that says it all, really.
Except Woodgate.
Especially the second half, it was pretty much all Fortuna. Hence the need for the solid defensive performance from Dangley's. But they've not created a great deal going forward, to be honed. Views with a couple of chances, but apart from that, nothing.
Yuhu Echiog, lovely joke, lovely Leddersford themed joke there as well.
Love it.
Yeah, I mean, Koe has put in a lot of challenges for that short period of time, and I don't know, deserves one of the matches.
Harsh on Matt Kerr, to be honest.
Harsh on Kerr, possibly harsh on Freda as well.
Yeah, and yeah, agreed.
So yeah, it's good to see that Peralta got himself an assist. Romeo just fairly quiet there, and he's had the same shots as Lee Hughes, hasn't he? However, but for his own standards, he's usually hitting the target with more frequency than that. And it'd be good to see how these two teams go forward for the rest of the season. But Fortuna now 2 points clear of Danglies. Did we have a request? We don't have any requests for third tonight. I think Dimble, if he's around, would probably appreciate a slightly earlier kick-off from Mr. Duggan as well. I don't know if they're around on chat. They're playing each other, and they might both be, to be honest, having early nights. Not with each other, I don't think.
That's at the weekend, I think.
Yeah, that's coming up on Saturday night, I believe. From whatever they're getting up to there. So the Red West Pacific, Lee Young Pure, Nanami, and Shi in midfield. It's probably where they're a bit stronger than the rest of the pitch.
I think I've probably heard of maybe 4 of their starting lineup. If I'm honest, Lee Young Pure, one of my favourites. Kawaguchi is a decent keeper.
Not this season.
I think that might have something
Quinton
to do
as
with
well.
To be honest.
Yeah, that is certainly with who's in front of him there, definitely.
I'm not sure what they've got in terms of attacking creativity and goals. Lee Young Pure obviously probably would be better operating a little bit further back, but does have some flair and some very nice attacking attributes.
Yeah, I'm not convinced by Ryan Q-Sar, to be honest, as a striker. What's on at 10? I think, Stu, at 10 o'clock, I think it is something like My Breastfeeding Boyfriend or something. It's something like that on Channel 4 before. I mean, it leads perfectly into Graham Taylor, doesn't it? But Fanji, I'd almost be thinking I'd put him up front. Dimble's here as well. You were there before you did say hello before and then disappeared. And Nanami, are you a fan of Nanami?
I'll be honest, I've never heard of the guy. He looks relatively solid.
Yeah, he's someone I found
not in terms of his performances, but got defensive midfielders operating in attacking midfield positions. Which...
Although Nanami is I think at his strongest, I think he is an attacking mid, or he plays all across that midfield. So it's something for him. And Shi, of course, the player that is getting the most attention for this season, but he's dire.
I don't think I've ever seen a rating of 5.6 after 6 appearances.
You haven't seen Dean Saunders very often then. Breastfeeding Boyfriend would have taken a right back to Euro 92. They had some strange choices at Euro. Did Nanami make Pro Evo? Yes, he did, yeah. But he's made also eFootball this year, which of course is a disaster. Pelham, Curtis Woodhouse is getting his first appearance of the season, even straight into the team, not even been on the bench yet. And they've been holding their own enough this season.
Yeah, it's not blessed with quality, if we're honest. Curtis Woodhouse is a shit house.
Yes.
Really, there's not a great deal much more to say about him. Just looking for a little bit of inspiration across.
Dean Gordon's been pretty good this season.
Dean Gordon. Did a solid job in a network save that I played with a couple of the other guys. Sold him to Man U for relatively big money. He's decent. Apart from that, there's not a great deal of inspiration. How's Stuart Elliott looking?
He's been in every match this season, but he has been a more peripheral figure. I've got to say, I've not seen him come up a lot on commentary, other than obviously those 2 little moments. Tell that to Woodhouse's face.
Oh dear me.
And then Roy Cropper on the bench is. I think he'll pop up with a goal or 2 this season if he's given more of a chance. But let's go into this one and see how they get on. Curtis Woodhouse, number 10 shirt. I don't care. If people don't care what squad numbers, I think he'd be kicking off. Morgan Norman's refereeing again today. Yeah, he's back for another one. Prediction.
I think this could be dull, to be honest. I'm going to call a 0-0.
0-0.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's like 7-4 or something, but I just don't see a great deal of quality I think the best couple of players on the pitch are probably in the Red West side, but I think in terms of overall 11, Pelham are probably a little bit more balanced. But yeah, 0-0.
3 predictions are in, and there's 1 goal amongst the 3 predictions. Dimble's not here to whelm us. We shall see. It's been a slow start to the game. Campbell coming forward. Oof. I think Curtis' phone number. Oh dear. Michael Appleton and Curtis Woodhouse have been booked early on. That's probably not a surprise. Less than 20 minutes gone, and they are suffering with a bit of indiscipline, but they're looking the much more threatening side at the moment. Campbell's looking like he's trying to get into this one even more, and to be honest, it is not necessarily the most thrilling match we've seen for a while, but it's a red card for Curtis Woodhouse. Half an hour in.
I'm fucking glad he's been sent off.
Half an hour in.
What a fucking shit out. Does anybody follow his social media? He talks about footballers like he's won the World Cup, and he talks about boxers like he's been a world champion. Fucking shit house. See you later. Get yourself off. Go and have an early bath.
That is quite the way to announce yourself into the league. Half an hour in, 2 yellow cards. I mean, I assume dirtiness is up there, pushing 20 for that, and temperament will be pretty low. I'll be having a look at him in the data editor later on if no one else does during this. An arrow on Appleton. There we are. Wow. It gives Red West a bit of a chance going into the rest of this, unless it will actually inspire Pelham. Without him, they could do better. Never to be seen again. So he's having a nice 18-match ban on the end of this game, just from his own manager. And it's a goal from Chen Ying-Wu. Scored, I think it might have been a free kick even at that point. Let's just take a quick look at the red card. So Woodhouse holding back Lee Young-Pyo.
It'll be an headbutt or a punch or something.
And he's taken Lee Young-Pyo down twice.
Yeah, well,
and it is a free kick.
Release him.
I will. Okay, I will. You can't bring in a replacement, but I will release him if you want me to. So the first half stats say, look at the shooting from Red West. That's like a season worth of shots for them.
Yeah, unbelievable. Pelham have been absolutely let down by that shit house. And Red West have capitalised. They can't. It's not pretty, is it? It's not pretty at all for Pelham. Danny Coyne obviously been busy.
Yeah, I mean that yellow card for Appleton has to be a worry with the fact he's throwing tackles in.
Yeah, he's now trying to do all the tackling on his own, and he's been booked. If he gets if he sees 90 minutes, I'll be surprised, to be honest. I think we could see a massive gaping hole in the central area of the Pelham side within the next 10-15 minutes.
Woodhouse to the job centre. It's their third goal of the season. I think she and Howe might have scored their other goals this season so far. They're not making any half-time subs there, despite the fact that she's doing what he's doing. And I think that looks like the only change there at half-time. So let's get on with the second half. Wow. Still reeling from the red card there, and there Ian Campbell's having to go off. It's
Brian Hughes, like for like, is it?
I mean, Brian Hughes is
John
an
Welsh.
Option.
Creative passing.
He's an option. Welsh is an option, but then David Nielsen as well, with Elliott maybe going out wide. There's a few things here. Aggression 17, but aggression's not necessarily that kind of aggression in the game, is it? I don't think. I'm not entirely sure whether it works in other ways or not.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Duggan's just messaged she up front. We just wait to see what Dimble calls on this one. Yeah, I need to do a bit more.
The lack of ability to time a tackle is probably been his downfall, not his aggression. Love that, Dimble. Love that.
Well, Sean, and 7 minutes till the subs at this point. And she makes it 2-0.
Oh dear.
Subs are on the way, and here we are. So
just doubled their goal tally for the season.
They have indeed, in less than an hour of a game where Curtis Woodhouse has certainly left his dirtiness 16. I bet his temperament and stuff on his mental stats will be pretty low.
Yeah, probably.
Elliot's not injured.
He's Thorpe left-footed.
And he was left-sided, but yeah, he's definitely,
Yeah, just they're both left-footed, aren't they? Both left-sided, both left-footed.
Both left side, both left foot. I mean, yeah. And then Gordon left as well. Cropper for Forrester. There we are. Is there going to be a third change? Or are we seeing that being it? Temperament was 10. That's not great. We'll get going. I think that'll be the changes there. No changes for Red West either.
Red West are on the verge of a historic victory, and Duggan's not even here.
Oh, Duggan's here. No, Duggan.
Here he is.
Do you want any changes? I'd love to know what you've just written there. It's probably something about being victory.
I think that's Chinese for shithouse.
Do you want to take off either Lee, Im Sang, or... Well, you're not taking she off, are you? So we'll have to see what potential shin injury there. See. Right, the fact I haven't got the language skill suggests I'm just going to continue the rest of this game. That's too long to say she on or she up front. So
I'd be pissed funny if it said something like "what Smut said" or something like that. Imagine translate what Smut said.
This is looking comfortable for Red West. I mean, can they move off the bottom of the table? I couldn't even remember how far behind they were, but it hasn't been a great start to the season for them, and this is going to change them. This is going to quadruple their points tally in just one game.
Yeah, it's going to double the goals tally, quadruple the points tally. They'll be partying in Shanghai tonight.
And 2-0 it is. It's a momentous victory. Wu taking man of the match. And yeah, it is deserved. It is definitely deserved. Exactly.
Yeah,
what
it
like.
is. Sorry, I was just reading.
I'm reading the chat as well. So
pretty dominant, really. Tell them I've been let down by Mr. Woodhouse, and they've not been able to recover. And what a night it's going to be in Shanghai. They are going to be partying late into the night and probably into tomorrow morning.
An immediate forfeit of the whole season. They're not this team are not as bad as Flamingos, but and Mike suggesting that Pelham pushed Sprungfelt last week with their performance, and yet this week have been taken apart by the bottom of the table. I mean, Stu, there. Do you live near Curtis Woodhouse? Do you want to, send him a clip of what he's done tonight and just let him know what he's done to the team that he's about to be released from? Appleton certainly tried for the game, but it was ultimately just not going to be quite enough.
No, he's done well to stay on the pitch. I think he's only completed one successful tackle in the second half. So not offered a great deal of protection to the back three who, Peter Handyside wasn't too handy, was it? Let's be honest.
No, I mean, his passing was pretty good, but that was about it.
Bad day at the office. Dimbo probably got to bed and, well, he might not be that arsed, but back to the drawing board.
He's got a nice suggestion of what he's gonna be doing on. Anyway, so we go over. We're not playing the Flamingos game next because I haven't seen Fifey, but Stu's here, and we can play the Grove Gondor game. So we go to Gondor, have a look at their setup for today, which it's a lot more defensive than some of the setups have been. And I do some work with him, run bars at events he co-runs. Wow. What a small world there. And,
you could tell him that he's let he has massively let down about 7 middle-aged men playing a game.
Who were all expecting a goalless game, and there he is spoiling it. So, I mean, what have you seen of Gondor this season? Obviously, they got to the cup final last week, losing 6-3 on aggregate to Mega Horse, but at least, it's a big turnaround from their last season work.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit. I think it's my second time on comms and in and out each week. Am I right in thinking this is the community pit squad?
Yeah, Swan threw it out there while he didn't have a laptop to be able to sort out his setup, and then he's taken an entirely unique squad. Though anybody else got it, they were immediately thrown out of consideration.
I like it. Okay. Well, say it'll be pleased to see Nick Budick I'm a big fan of. Baron is likely to throw in a 5 at very best, to be honest. He's absolutely horrific.
Yeah, I mean, he did play one of the... did he play? I think he played one of the cup matches in there. Yeah, he came in and replaced Neville Southall in the second of the cup final legs. But, yeah, he's been all right. He's better than Neville Southall, at least.
Well, yeah, Neville Southall probably average about 5. But yeah, apart from that, Ricardo Gardner's obviously a decent player. Diop, I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of.
It's working this season, though. He's certainly working out.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't expect that sort of contribution, to be honest. Be interesting to see after a couple of sixes if he can get back on that, or whether he just sort of had a purple patch to kick off the season and now he's settled into his usual sort of.
Yeah, that's potential, isn't it? I'm just noticing that Stu's mentioned that Curtis Woodhouse tried to fight a hen party. that's just, I mean, of all the things. Yeah, what do you make of Batata so far this season?
I've not seen a great deal of him. I don't think I've ever heard of him, to be honest. Where's he from?
He plays somewhere in Eastern Europe somewhere, but he is a Brazilian.
Right.
I found him on a game once when my Premier League save that I've got, and just signed it for Newcastle to see how we get on.
He's relatively versatile. Not pulled up any trees as of yet this season, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he gets on.
Yes, and it will be interesting to see how they get on. That means all 25 players are now being given a squad number there at Gondor for this season. And for Grove, one change to their lineup from last time. We will go to contracts and things if there are any in a second. They might just be unhappy players. With Finnan's injury, Laurent Robert steps in to play at left wing back.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid team, if we're honest. Not sure that Laurent Robert's got the tracking back desire and attributes to play a wing back role. Probably one of the laziest players you'll ever see, but obviously has that star quality. D'Alessandro, massive fan. Smirtin is obviously very, very good. Solid back three. David James, is okay. Yakubu and Barros, yeah, it's a solid side.
And always be aware of Dario Silva's prowess from the subs bench as well. He's certainly a big threat there.
Yeah, I also like Berkovic. In fact, I would probably play Berkovic over Berger. Personal preference.
So, yeah, I mean, they're both very, very good players in this team. Berger's had a good start to the season, and Berkovic, as a sub, it's hard to get the ratings, I suppose, as a substitute, but it will be...
Yeah, I get that.
See how he gets on. Prediction for this one?
I can't see past a comfortable Grove win. Maybe... we'll go with 3-1.
3-1 to Grove. At least tonight we haven't seen anything where a red team has played against a red team and the only difference was a text colour that we got last week in Division 1. A team switching to their away kit to play a game just in that way was just bizarre. Nothing's happening so far except Fifey's arrived. So, I mean, Fifey's arrived at the perfect time to see 20 minutes of nothing happening. We get to nearly half an hour and then a chance for Aragon. What a start to the half that was. I was absolutely
burst into life after 30 minutes.
They might not need a lot of space in the commentary for the first half. We head towards half time. chances have started to appear, and one maybe before half time. Will we get a goal? It's a chance, a corner, and it is. It's Vokalos has scored and Gondor lead 1-0. And yep, 29 minutes was the first time we had any action. A very, very short first half for it, and Gondor 4 chances.
I was just about to say, I'm not going to waste your time, my time, or the viewers' time even reviewing that 45 minutes, but it seems in the last 5-10 minutes quite a lot's gone on, and Gondor piled the pressure on for a 5 or 10 minute period and have got their rewards. Unexpected, I would suggest. Obviously not against the run of play, but I don't think anybody expected Gondor to be able to put Grove under that sort of sustained pressure over a period of time.
No, but they're doing all right, aren't they, this season? I'm going to go to Grove first, to be honest, because Stu's here. He might want to make some changes, and he's not one to shy away from them if necessary. Look at Smerteen.
Come on, Stu.
Dario Silva's a 60
and
minute.
Davis. Berkovic and Davis game changers, I reckon.
Oh.
Yeah, you would think Dario Silva probably will feature as well with his prowess from the bench.
Yeah. Will he risk a change before 60? We'll go over to Gondor and have a quick look over there. As is, he says at the moment. So he's going to take it to 60 and bring on Dario Silva at least as one change there. So the assist for Aragon and the finish from Vokalos for his first goal of the season. He's not really had a look in quite as much. I think he's been injured until started to come in, but he's not played very well. And again, Diop is doing what he's been doing this season.
Yeah, surprising. You the completely unexpected source of a goal. And yeah, do you know they've had a 10-minute spell there where they put some pressure on and they've got a goal. Apart from that, it was a pretty dull incredibly dull first 30 minutes.
First half an hour was
15
just
minutes of
weird.
Yeah.
We'll get to 60 minutes, and Swan, whenever Swan's not here, he does allow substitutes to be organised for him, and that's explicitly instructed from him, so that's absolutely fine. Smerteen looking more lively, and Grove coming back into this, but John Curtis has been letting the side down somewhat, but I don't think you'd be changing defenders here. I think it's attackers.
Yeah, I want to be looking at some creativity. I've made my suggestions. They got promptly ignored. So we'll see what Stu decides to do.
I think we could see Barros. Yeah, Barros coming off. It is Barros. Looking into that there. Dario Silva coming on. Will there be another change? Anything could happen. Robert up to left mid. And are we continuing his run all the way? I'm going to put it there, but if you want to continue all the way at the pitch, go for it. And I'll sort that out. And left up to left. Hang on. Is that the arrow to left wing or put him to left wing? Which one would you be doing there? Would you be putting him here and running up, or would you be putting him there?
Yeah, I would leave him where he is, running up. Yeah, that's what I would do. And I would probably move Anderton as well. Again, not somebody that I'm particularly a fan of, but if you're going to use him, you're probably going to get the best out of him in a midfield position rather than a wing back position.
Left mid arrow to left wing.
Mid arrow to left wing.
Brilliant. If you do want another change, just let me know. But I'm going to go and check out Gondor at this point.
Did you put Berkovic on?
Yeah, Berkovic has come on. Oh, Anderson's going to do the same. We will do that then. A quick look over. Carr not injured. I don't think Jop's injured. I think he's just tired. Aragon, he's got 10 for stamina, hasn't he? So we'll look to. I think we'll make one change going forward here for these, and it will be to bring Aragon off. And it'll be Bangor coming on with Batata going into midfield there. And seeing how that can happen there, because Batata is not as defensive as Bangor. Yeah, and Anderton, we need to make that change there. McAteer and Lieb and on. We'll go for those there. So that's where we are. Anderton looking to try and finish at 90 minutes again, which will be interesting if he can. The ball coming forward. Grove they had a chance, but then it was cleared away by Gondor, and Grove come back again. And it seems like it's going to be attack versus defence for the last 20 minutes. Gondor hanging on, and this will be quite lofty heights.
They're not knocking the door down, are they?
No, not massively. A chance there, and I think Carr was involved, and Bango also coming forward. Harsh free kick given, but into the last 2 minutes, and Gondor have held on for a 1-0 victory. Superb. Batata flew down to a 5 by the end. Only to be saved by John Curtis. That change didn't quite work out, but Bangor has helped them defend.
Yeah, it's a relatively even game. Grove probably have slightly better of the second half in terms of chances and possession, but they've not created a great deal of quality with just a couple of attempts on target.
Yeah, I mean they're not gonna necessarily. Dario Silva's come on and played half an hour with nothing. Maybe he needs to start. He possibly does need to start. Barros has been poor this season. I know it's a 2 goals, 2 assists, but one of those was 2 of those assists were in the cup against inferior opposition. Yakubu, at least, well, he's done the same thing. 2 of his goals have come there. Smirtine definitely can hold his head high, and look at Laurent Robert putting in an 8. So, yeah, it was all right.
Laurent Robert completing 100% of his tackles. Not something you ever see.
3 key tackles from Laurent Robert. Fifey's comment there, yeah, respects Swanee, but Grove should not be losing that. I think that's a very, very fair comment there that he's made coming in there, and we get used to that from Fifey, don't we, for his commentary.
Yeah, I think that's a cryptic dig at Grove, to be honest.
No, I don't.
It's not even like a well done Swanee, great result. It's like that's fucking shocking, Grove. What's going on?
And again, they come up with a decent performance, and heading into Saturday's games, 4 days away, it's going to give them quite a bit of confidence. Ran 8 tests, we won them all. Sprungfelt versus Aussie Dream, both managers here. We'll take a quick look at the things here. Bayerholm and Jodnos are, they're off for new contracts at the moment, and the one change sees Maresca back into the team after his suspension, I think it was, and Romo takes his place back on the bench in place of Eric Zeder. Other than that, this is their usual first team that's played most of the season.
Yeah, there's some. This must be Smush, yeah.
Yes, indeed it is. You can see with Onshue up front and Maresca in defensive mid.
Yeah, and the back 4. Yeah, there's some decent players in there. Maresca, we know, is a fan of as well as Chewy. Radoy's a decent player. Kaká, actually, I'm a fan of. Signed him recently, actually, for the first time.
He's been doing all right, hasn't he? Yeah.
After I put together the -2 potential shortlist, which he is on.
Oh, right, yeah.
So, yeah, interesting to see how he goes in the middle of the pack.
What do you make of Sjoerd Rensen? Have you seen him at all before?
Who's that, sorry?
The goalkeeper.
I have not ever heard of him.
He's been getting high praise in the media during this season. Right. His handling's gone up to 11, but he's actually been playing pretty well this season. He's one of the only players who's been given a big boost in the Swedish media.
Right, concedes 2 again. He's not doing that great.
Well, that's Aussie Stream for you, isn't it?
Where's he from?
He's a Norwegian keeper. I'm not sure whereabouts that he's. I think he's Norwegian anyway, not Dutch. No. Yeah. Interesting to see how he gets on, but I've not seen him before this. And
Zeder as well is someone that I'm a fan of who can come on and do leaps and bounds as the season.
Come off the bench. And
a few of them will be on the -2, so imagine Femurs, most players I've seen have one great save. Yeah, I do recognise a few names in there. Zeder, Lecky, the centre-back, I believe. Chewy is in there. Jordanos as well, the striker, is in there. Bayerholm. Quite a lot of them, actually.
Yeah, and Hippie yet to get himself an appearance so far. And Ben Walker. There's a few players sat there who this season will be used as little as possible, I imagine. But usually not very good. And on to Sprungfelt. we got a contract offer to make for Lenny, so we'll get that sorted. And Bart Williams just wants a new challenge as ever. So with no Deflondra and no Mike Duff, it means that they have to change system. Well, I say they have to change system. They always change system, don't they, Sprungfelt? But they're making the most without the players they've got.
They've obviously left some quality out in Saha and Ronaldo in terms of the attacking positions. The narrow back five looks pretty solid. Potentially, depending on how involved the fullbacks can get from Smuts' boys, potentially a little bit exposed when they lose possession. But apart from that, I would expect them to probably have enough.
Mike jumping in with his lovely comment about Ronaldo there. He's not been playing very well, Ronaldo, this season, to be honest, and he has been dropped. How is that team in this league against my bunch of numpties? I mean they are supposed to be in this division. There's just quite the spread of ability in Division 2, but they are definitely not statistically strong enough to be in Division 1, let's put it that way.
Yeah, and let's be honest, Mr. Savage don't put his best 11 players out week in, week out, does he either?
No, well, he does. He always puts Jeff Whitley on the pitch. So, he must be picking his strongest players because Jeff never misses a game where possible. Well, prediction. We're 1 minute in.
1 minute in, I'm going to go with, I think, Sprungfelt win 3 or 4-1 with a goal from Alistair Davey.
Not a goal from Cuevas as he looks to move the ball and score straight away.
No, I think he's going to shift the ball, beat his fullback, and cross it in for Alistair Davey.
Oh, lovely. Oh, chances came in there. A couple of them, I think, straight away. And then down the other end, Kaka has got a chance. It's been a fast-paced start, certainly when you consider the last game. This has had more action in it than last game had almost all the time. Stu thinking it's going to be 3-0 to Sprungfelt. Smuts with 7-0 to Sprungfelt. Stu's sulking. Go on, Stu, get yourself another Brew York beer out. It'll all be okay. It'll be fine. Chances again, Aussie's dream certainly in this one at the moment. And neither team is taking control. There we are, though. There's Nelson Cuevas laughing at the opposition. And coming into the last 5 minutes of the half, they are up in front and they are quite difficult to break down, the Sprungfelt boys. Elisa Taper with another chance. 5 feet towards half time has predicted that Aussie's dream will come back and win the second half 2-1. Not looking likely in the way it's going so far.
No, it's been pretty dominant from Sprungfelt, and I think the fact that Aussie's dream have got all this sort of attacking threat is in that narrow attacking third against that block of 5 from Sprungfelt is probably going to mean that they don't create a massive amount, to be honest.
We'll just have a look at how they're getting on. Sprungfelt not needing to put in too many tackles. Everyone is, but no one's needing to win them still.
Let Scott pick. No, they've not had to do a great deal. I think they've probably dominated most of the ball, to be honest. At the attacking wide players are involved.
Yeah, just go back to them for you. Yeah, they're involved, but not hugely, are they? I mean, Cuevas has got himself a goal. Nedved's been quiet.
I mean, Cuevas has had maybe an 8's a little bit harsh. Completed all his passes, completed his tackle, all his shots on target, and a goal. Pretty impressive. Alenichev, not a bit meh. Aussie's dream, not a great deal to shout about, to be honest. Kaká, who I was looking forward to seeing, has disappointed.
Not. I mean, he did come close at one point to at least he got his shot in. But what would you do then? Are you going to make a change for Aussie's dream?
If it's okay, I'm going to make 2 changes actually.
Yeah.
We'll go with Jordanos for Brooker, and we will go with Beerholm on the right side of the 3 in midfield.
Tando coming off.
Yeah.
And
Leave.
Savage. Go on, you saying?
No, that's it. Yeah.
That's all right.
We'll roll with that.
Leave the one change, and the arrow coming off Nedved is the only change there for Sprungfeld. So second half, as it stands, chances for them to maybe get back into this Aussies dream with a couple of changes will liven up. Jordanos at least has had a touch so far, and we're going towards the subs, which was a very, very quiet first 15 minutes of that second half, and Sprungfeldt don't really need to make a change. There is a match in 4 days' time as to whether that will affect anybody with their own decisions, but at 1-0, can you afford to do that?
Yeah, I think. I don't think they need to be honest. They've got a scapegoat when we lose.
Is that the plan?
I don't think they need to do anything, to be honest. We'll see.
No, I mean Carlson has been great when he's been playing this season. In the early stages, he was certainly dominating, but then he's faded out recently.
I think his attacking wide players have been some of the more influential in the game. He could rest them, but it's only 1-0 with half an hour to go. So the risk,
interesting questions there. I'm going to pop it over to Savage saying leave it as it is. Aussie's dream. Kaka on 83%. Is there an injury? No, he's just a bit tired. And are you going to make a third change or leave them as they are? Keep that as it goes. Well, I can probably go and make a drink or something at this point. Oh no, the ball's going forward. At least Debbie with another chance. But it's pretty quiet, isn't it? Elenichev with another chance. Jordanos going forward. A chance from Maresca was involved. And then with a few minutes left, there's still some chances to fall at the back. Doing well, Tato says. And Nedved it is, making it 2-0.
Yeah, those wide players have had a bit of a field day.
Yes, indeed. Up against that 4 at the back is... 4 at the back is right for this league, I think, isn't it? 3s and 4s and 5s and all that. So, yeah, it was a decent game. Ish.
Yeah, it was. I think we expected Sprungfeldt to dominate. We've got what we expected. Probably thought that they would be a little bit more clinical, but I think Aussie's keeper's probably been their best player. Apart from that, it's the 2 guys that we brought from the bench. So
Bostock out. You mean officially known as Bostock?
Absolutely fine.
Just like Alf calls Ian Haggis.
Yeah. Big fan of Cuevas. Like I said, the wide men have had a great game. Willie Burns had a solid game. Bartes as well. I mean, I'm not sure how he gets named. He's only to save one shot maybe. But yeah, I think just as expected, they've had a lot of the ball. They've created a lot of chances. Could have been a little bit more clinical if you want to be critical at all. Olise probably unlucky not to get a goal with 6 shots for on target.
All those 4 at the front did manage to get a goal contribution at least in some way. So
that'll be good for Mr. Savage. And does that mean they're going to stay top of the table?
They will definitely stay at least 2 points clear. Yeah. So I mean, we look at that. I mean, Kameni was probably the right choice to take off at half time there with his 5 out of 7 passes that he managed in the first half. Jordanos was fairly quiet. I'm not quite sure how he's necessarily resulted in a 7 unless he's had some. Has he had a bit of dribbling maybe to at least get him something? No, he's caught offside 3 times. So he didn't do a lot. I mean, I would be playing him to be honest. So I can understand why you brought him on.
Yeah, and Beho down on 79% fitness. He's only played half a game.
Yeah. Now, for me, I want to mention someone who didn't play. Anthony Betterson, I didn't even know he's on the 0102 database. He's one of those guys who in 97, 98 was a schoolboy that was always really, really good for potential and everything. I didn't even know he's still sort of around 5 years later or anything. But I just wanted to bring him to the attention. He's the 2nd best goalkeeper in the squad. Have you seen the 3rd?
Nope.
Right, we'll go to him. Just have a little look in here just to see his third choice goalkeeper. Yeah, there he is, Jan Ebley.
Decent. I mean, he's got a man of the match performance.
He's got 14 for reflexes at least, which is comfortably higher than 7 times better than his handling. It's definitely something about him. I think we need to see him this season.
I mean, in what world have you seen him have a good save?
He made a good save once. I think that might be
it. He made a save. It all makes sense now.
Betterton was at Highworth. Oh, right, yeah. Not far from Fifey country. Fifey country. I mean, you can imagine a country full of Fifies. That'd be superb. That. top class commentary and lots of self-deprecation. So Boston versus Flamingos can come up next up. Ebley starting next game. You can't drop Renson. He's great. Anyway, so Boston no changes to the starting lineup, and formation wise, but a few changes personnel. It's a squad that there's a lot of good players for each position, really.
Yeah, it's probably the first squad of the night where I know all the players in the lineup. Some real quality in there, really solid back line, a couple of really solid defensive midfielders. In true Greaves' style, try and limit the opposition to not a great deal. And then some creativity to try and get that ball to Montella.
Yeah, and he's been pretty solid this season, Montella, hasn't he? He's not scoring the goals, but he had a couple of injuries going on. I think probably you look at the player that's the actual pivotal player in Zauli's been tremendous.
Yeah, and I think you get that from him in the first couple of seasons in most saves. Normally go to a big club, and I like the flair. Flair's something that I'm a big fan of on the game. Full stop. Hence the love for Carlos Jacks. Solid side. Be a tough ask for Flamingos, but they are at home. They do have an improved squad from last season.
Yeah, that's putting it mildly, isn't it? We go to have a look at that Flamingos side, and we just have a look at these contracts for Inzaghi. Is the only one, but both teams playing a back four today.
I mean, it's a lot stronger than I remember it being, actually. Obviously, I remember the concept. Not sure why we've got all these attacking players so deep and midfielders at fullback, but blessed with quality plus Danny Invincible.
Let's have a little look at how he's getting on this season. Yes, Seven's quite invincible.
I think the thing is, you know how Greaves is going to line up. Why does he feel he needs 7 defensive players in there? Would be my only question.
Is he trying to out-defend a defensive team? I'm not sure.
Yeah, even if you just play 2 defensive midfielders and shove Kewell further forward and make it a 3 behind him, Penza or something. I just think it's a bit defensive overkill for 7 players stopping Montella, essentially.
Yeah, 7. Well, but then again, I mean, what Fifey has probably been noticing recently is his team just seem to concede goals at strange times. Not a lot of goals, but just they do concede unfortunate goals sometimes. We cannot defend, and Tato's going there. Kewell at defensive mid. I think this is it's a rarity to see Harry Kewell playing as a central defensive mid player. But what's your thoughts on this
maybe
one?
It's maybe Fifey's going for the old Pep Guardiola play, like David Silva as like a deep line playmaker sort of role. Maybe that's Fifey's thinking for Harry Kewell. I think it'll be a close game. 2 stacked defences would suggest that it'll be chances few and far between, but I hope I'm wrong. I think it'll probably be a draw, 0-0 or 1-1.
0-0 or 1-1. let's hope for the 1-1 at least. We can't take another first half hour or nothing, can we? Oh, at least we've got something early on, and it's slow again, I suppose. Scarchilli coming forward, Matarazzi getting involved, but again, it's a bit stop-start. It's not really going anywhere at the moment. Yellow card for Harry Kewell. He's obviously not coping the best in that position there, but that's it, Scott. Oh dear. Half an hour in, not a lot to talk about so far. Will there be a chance for either side at this point? Who knows? It's tense without being exciting. And there we are. We've got Penza scoring a goal just before half time, making it 1-0 to Flamingos. Christian Panucci's taking a yellow card, and well, I mean, it's just deserved.
It's played out exactly as we expected, really. And both sides have got that quality at the top end of the pitch. And Penza's obviously got the goal. You expect this sort of mentality from Greaves. That's what Greavesy does. I just think I expect a little bit more from Fifey. He's got a squad stacked full of talent. Predominantly, most of them won the Super League last year, playing attacking football, scoring lots of goals and bashing teams. And he's got 7 defenders in Fifey. It's not what your fans want to see. Fucking hell, mate! Come on, we need to see a little bit more. Attacking flair and creativity next week. None of this 7 defender bollocks.
What's the nurse shopping comment? He's nurse shopping horse. Is that about? I don't know what that's to do with. I can't think. You have to remind me what that was about. That? The comment about he's nurse shopping horse. I'm not quite sure where it's.
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to.
I'm not sure Fife is overly impressed with my comments, but look at the squad and the quality that he's got in there. I want you to see what you did last year in the Super League. I want to see you come and replicate that in here. I want you to get your best attacking players on the pitch, trust your defenders to do the job, and take the game to teams like fucking Greavesy, sat with his 8 defenders and Penza up front. You're better than that, Fifey.
So, I mean, yeah, I know that Fifey on reflection has he forgot really about the defensive rule when he picked his squad, and that's sort of thrown him, and he's got a lot more midfielders than he'd want to have. But yeah, I mean, there are defenders in the squad. Alan Archibald would probably be better in defence than midfielders, I suppose. He's not horrendous, is he? He's got decent positioning. He can move, so he'll be able to do that. But he can't play.
Nobody's asking for 2 at the back so much. 4 at the back's fine.
There's no cheat formations. No cheat formation other than wib-wobby formations.
Listen, I've got absolutely no issue with 3 or 4 at the back. You just don't need 4 defensive midfielders to go with it. That's all I'm saying.
Baldini.
Next week, right, and Tato can like it or fucking lump it. Next week, Badgers are playing 4 at the back and no DMCs, and we'll fucking show you how it's done.
Oh, going for a Dalgety type formation there. They're winning Division 1 there with 4 at the back, 3 centre mids, an attacking mid and 2 forwards. Look at Baldini, 5 and 4 in 2 areas.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Baldini. Not someone I've used until the last couple of months. Famani is obviously a big. Tato's
he's a Badger.
Fan.
Yeah,
he's a Badger, and yeah,
Tato will lump it.
That's absolutely fine. It's happening.
Yeah, the top 2 in Division 1 playing no DMC. I can't remember who the other team is in.
Yeah, but the influential Zowley's not contributed a great deal. And to be honest,
true.
They've just been pretty bang average, and that's probably been complimentary. They've only created 1 chance, which you would probably expect, judging at Fifey's formation with.
Well, if this is what he's set up to do, it is working at half time, and we'll get into that second half and see how they go. He went as is, and Greavesy isn't here. We will check him on at 60 minutes, but I don't think he's got sub plans, I will check the message again. But we've got a few minutes to subs, and they're probably absolutely vital for somebody going forward. Ambrosini having a great game so far, which is certainly changing his season around a little bit. And I'll
the thing is, you could move Kewell. You could move Kewell and Ferguson forward. You don't even need him next to Ambrosini.
You might need no Ambrosini at this position, though. But I mean, for me, that'd be a warning sign. But a lot of people don't really care about conditions. I'm just going to look at my message from Greavesy. Nah, he's got no specific sub plans. Just for anyone who's looking. I mean, the Ambrosini rating would be a sub at other teams, but so 4 behind Penza, Kewell, Etu, Brugink, and
love that. All with
Invincible.
Big fan of that.
So if Brugink is coming on, who's he coming on for? Aquilani for Ambrosini. But I just don't know. I assume that's Barry Ferguson, is it then coming off at this position? Yeah, Brugink for Ferguson. There we are.
Love that. 5 fit.
Where do you want the arrows, 5 fit? Do you still want the arrows from there? Or are you looking for something a bit different? We shall see. All with arrows. That's what you said.
Yes.
I should read. Yeah.
Fucking hell, he looks a bit exposed.
It's one extreme to the other, in your opinion, here, isn't it?
Love it, 5 fit. I love it. It's so easily influenced. It's so fun.
Oh, he's a legend of Championship Manager for us. Diagonal.
Legend.
Diagonal on the wingers. Right, let's do that.
Yes.
That comes in. Yeah. Scarchili, depends what type of injury it is here. Thigh injury. Yeah, Scarchili will make way, I assume.
Put Zanzini on and put Sal.
Yeah, that's the thought there, isn't it? Looking into there. So one change, Posanzini and Zawali.
Zawali 1-on-1 against Aquilani is dangerous.
Lose now, Scott. There we go. This is certainly targeting that. Loving it. Gonna get him in so much trouble on Saturday if he's this easily influenced. Oh, it makes me glad I'm not going. 15 minutes left. And I mean, it's 1-1 now. Posanzini has come on and scored. I think I blinked slightly too long because I almost missed it. And Montella with a chance. This is certainly Boston on the attack. But then one last chance maybe. Oh, it's so close. Woodgate with a chance. Down the other end, Montella. Oh no. Montella. Oh no. Oh.
I mean, 5 for your side. If you ask everybody else, how exciting was that last 30 minutes?
What happened? What happened? Oh, I mean, oh.
I think that might be my Super League title charge over. Fifey's going to corrupt my squad. Fifey, come on, it was good fun. Everybody, look at the chat. They all fucking loved it.
All to entertain you. I can't say that word. Can't say that word on here. Well, I mean, 90th minute was just packed, wasn't it? The stats, Boston the second half were extremely lively. Flamingos were entertaining. We'll say that definitely. Invincible managed to get himself in the referee's notebook, and it was. I mean, the Ambrosini sub was probably pivotal there, but he was injured. I don't think he'd have been particularly superb later on. And Montella, 6 out of 6 attempts on target.
Yeah, let's be honest. It was exciting. It was good to watch. Incredible entertainment. The last 30 minutes. To be honest, I think you're right. If Ambrosini stays on for Aquilani, then maybe that doesn't happen. But credit to Fifey for giving the fans what they wanted to see.
Throwing the result to entertain. Oh, no, nah, come on. He's got to get there next week. Ambrosini have been great. Woodgate managed to play very, very well. Cambiasso looked quite natural at left back.
Yeah, Cambiasso is probably up there in Fifey's top 3 favourite players. I know he's a huge fan. Has done a decent job, got an assist. It was a decent performance up until the
89 minutes, probably.
Well, yeah. But yeah, listen, it was great entertainment, great for the neutrals. Credit to Fifey for putting a show on. I know he's shown a little bit of anger, but really he'll be chuckling to himself that he's having a great crack.
Well, let's see if this game will do anything. The final one of the day, William Vialli to be offered a new contract, £825 a week.
Absolute bargain.
And Hersey is wanting a solid 1,000. Overpaid these players, is that what they are? Yeah. So looking into that, you've made one change to last time out, and see ZZ Roberts coming in for Kevin Kyle.
Yeah, it's this is firmly Tato's tactic. He spent a lot of time testing with it. He is a big fan of it. We used it last week. We got the win. So for me, no real reason to change, apart from bringing ZZ in just so that I can tell Smuts that he's on top.
Yeah, I mean, Tato's tactic was it is there to entertain, isn't it? And ZZ, there he is. He's top. Says Smuts, of course. Last time out, the 1-0 win over Flingers, 78 minutes. It's that last 15 minutes is just not quite... I mean, if Swan was doing stats for this, we might see a bit of a trend appearing on Flamingos. Steve gets a woman, he starts winning. So Fifey needs a woman to make the Swemp games less frustrating. Is that a positive correlation? I don't know. We'll have to see. You have to test it out, Fifey. Anyway, who would you say if you were picking the team and you could make one change to anything? What would you have seen a player be more likely to get into this side for today?
To be fair, I did have free rein to pick the team.
I suppose, you did just make the one change, yeah.
I mean, no, relatively pleased with the team. Lee Young-Pyo is a player that I'd like to get involved, but there'll be plenty of opportunities when we do play wing backs for him. And John Welsh will also feature when I have control of the badges, because Tato is not a fan, but I am a big advocate of his.
Yeah, and he's missing, obviously, Milevski at the moment.
And he's not been that great, to be honest, and Famani does a solid job, so yeah, we're happy with that.
Well,
in fact, the only thing that I would see, the only thing I would like to happen is that Kevin Kyle never plays again, but when you're in a co-management position with someone who's such a big advocate, then that's something that I just have to suck up, unfortunately.
You're more like the Cowley brothers than Anthony Johnson or whatever his assistant manager is at wherever he's been before, FC United and those other teams. So anyway, Mega Horse this game, missing Kohler for one more game, and obviously the opening game of the Swedish Cup next season. Bayern still with 4 games to go. It seems like it's been taking forever, that suspension.
What did he do?
I think he headbutted someone quite early into the season, so 8-match ban. Or is it 9 in the end? Grimos is out after the cup final first
That's
leg.
A big miss. He's been exceptional.
A huge miss. And Eigenraug, I mean, he was out very, very early on. I mean, that's the first game, I think, that he was out in. First or second match, and he's out immediately. So, yeah, the team it's fair. I don't know. Some positions are settled at the moment. Obviously, as defenders come back from injury, it's going to be a changed system down there. But Kaluzhny's settled. Marcelinho's moved further back to cover the absence of Gramosis, and Juskowiak is preferred in attacking mid to Driller this time out.
Yeah, fairly similar tactics, really.
Yeah, just arrows and whatnot, a little bit different.
Yeah, I think you've got Bome is a big player. I think has he featured much? Or
he's been outdone by Bart Hoare at the moment. That's the only reason why he's not in. I mean, if you take a look at Hoare for his performances so far, he's deserved in the team.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely agreed.
And that was a big decision of who do I play to start the season there, and Hoare has proved pretty special. Villy and Sebastian on the other side, not quite doing the same business. But Sebastian's having a pretty poor season, but he'll get a chance again. So yeah, that's where we are for this one. What's your thoughts on this? Are you going to call a prediction in your own game?
I'd like to think that it's quite an open game. That's how we at the Badgers have set up to attack, create chances, and a similar tactic for myself. So let's hope that it's a bit of a goal fest, and we'll go with 5 goals with 3-2 Badgers.
Let's see if that one could be born into fruition, or whatever the phrase is there. We're 10 minutes in, it's been all action packed. It's been so fast we've barely seen it. Cabello was heavily involved early on in the first attack there for Badgers. Roberts is disallowed.
It's easy, too far up top.
Just goals for all. Nice one, Tater. That sounds good. It's certainly much more Badgers on the attack. Coming forward, Kaluzhny's had a chance, and Yashvili has put one off target. And then Hoare into Preetz, disallowed. To goal each side. I mean, we are showing the goals, but they're just not counting. 0-0 half time. Is it? Is it? Yeah, it is at the moment. And I mean, you look at Fermani on an 8, Echendu on a 5, and everybody else at 6s and 7s. Let's add to that the fact that each team has had an extra shot on target.
Yeah, it's been more Bostock, Leddersford than Badgers Mega Horse.
Yes, that's one way of putting it, isn't it? Very, very close, dull matches between. It's 6-9, 5 feet hoping for a 15-goal thriller. The second VAR could have been brought into it there. Ray has dropped below 90%, but doesn't seem like there's any injury concerns there. Fermani's been very, very solid.
Fermani is a solid player, which means we don't really miss Malevsky when we're just playing that one. I'm going to make a tactical change, but not a substitution.
Okay.
Please. I'm going to move both Hersey and Jacks to attacking midfield.
Oh, that's a right click or left. There we are. Yeah.
I'll give him arrows as well.
The two of them.
Yeah, and we'll have an arrow on for Marnie to centre midfield as well.
There we are. A real mix on the ratings. Yeah, you're not wrong. Happy with that?
Yeah, we'll roll till 60.
And for Mega Horse, a quick look in the stats there. Kaluzhny, he's doing all right. Not to get himself booked in the first half, I suppose. And I don't know, Echendu's being a passenger. Yeah, what else to say? Juskowiak's been very, very quiet as well, but I think we'll go to 60 minutes.
It's not been a massive amount, really. It's been very much played in the middle of the park with chances few and far between. Both sides, defensive players and midfield players, see more of the ball than the attacking players. So let's hope that we can kick on.
Yeah, there's got to be something surely in this second half, and it kicks off at its frenetic pace again. It's really hard to keep up with this one. Ball coming forward, a chance, and Hersey's put it just wide. Subs are on the way, and I mean, there's been not huge developments at the moment. Pretty similar. Roberts there, 83, potential knee injury.
Okay, let's get Campos on then for ZZ Roberts.
Yes.
We'll get Collins on for Cabello. Yep.
Happy with that?
Yep.
And for the horse, he's a 9 there for colours, isn't he? As coming in, Chendu's possibly put a tackle in. Kyle and Collins, come on. Well, Campos and Collins it is. Will there be any changes? I mean, Juskowiak, if he hasn't improved, yeah, we'll see Juskowiak come off. And we'll have Yashvili behind the 2 strikers, the 2 old guys. So we've got Kirsten at 36 and Preetz at 34 up front against each other. If he's trying to suggest some tactics there for you there.
Pushed a few players up already.
And into the rest of the game. I probably meant to take Villy off, but it's too late anyway. So we'll see what happens. Preetz has been a bit more lively.
There's a little exposed here, but it's all for the fans.
The ball coming forward a bit more for Mega Horse at the moment, but still nothing quite there. Oh, Kirsten involved in Yashvili. It is who scores the opening goal. 10 minutes left. Talk me backwards. Suggestions into the last minute or so of this match, and will there be an equal? Oh, Macera, so close. 1-0 it is. Timo Hildebrand for keeping, I think, possibly one of his. Well, it can't be his first clean sheet. I think we kept one last game. But Firmani, man of the match, deservedly so. A close game with not the most excitement, I suppose.
No, considering the tactics from both sides and the changes that were made to try and make it more entertaining, it's still been a bit dull. Loads and loads of offsides probably influenced that.
Yeah, it's a tremendous amount, isn't it? 32 offsides.
Yeah. So, like I said to Piper, we're here for entertainment. We try to mix it up. We try to do something different. I can't preach to Pifey and then go all greasy, can I? So it's what it is. And let's be honest, Campos is better than Kevin Kyle.
Campos? Yeah, because that finishing is not 6. If you look at the header, it's about 13, 14.
And look how influential he is, man. We need him on the pitch.
He's come up with it. Yeah, he's come up with a solid 6 there. No shots.
Yeah, Tato says that tactic's going to bin. I mean, to be honest, I would have binned it for tonight, but you were such an advocate of it and you were so positive about it. I rolled with it. Next week, Sadler's at the wheel, 4 at the back, no DMCs.
I think he's because of the message about the two top teams having no DMCs, that maybe it will be a useful little thing for the team. The winning goal from Yashvili, who pops up with a goal for the 5th time this season. He's looking fairly lively without being spectacular, but he's not an attacking mid, but I find that he plays well there, just like a Ruud van Nistelrooy kind of player who can do the same job. Anyways, we take a look at the results. Wow, no team scored more than twice today. We had 5 teams.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a recurring theme when I do commentary. Same on in Fife. He had a Super League show a few weeks ago. And
10 goals or whatever in it.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Very low. Yeah, 5 teams failed to score. 4 teams get 2. It's
we tried to make it entertaining, but when you get sides like Fife and Greaves are lining up with such defence, and I think performance of the night has to go to Red West, who themselves played 5 at the back. Individual performance of the night goes to Curtis Woodhouse.
I'd say a quick good night to Fife. He's on his way, so good night, Fife. Curtis Woodhouse, let me just take that Curtis Woodhouse. Half an hour into his debut, and the number 10 shirt, of course. Red card for 2 fouls on.
And we release him live.
Should we do that? Yeah, we will. We'll go to them. We'll have a look at the table again in a second. But Pelham, we'll see what happens. Anyway, he's banned for for a month. I'm not going to appeal it. I'm going to go to Woodhouse. We will also discipline him live on air as well for his
for
dismissal.
absolutely no reason.
He can have a 1 week fine there. He won't be happy with it. He feels it was unfair. How can that be unfair? How can that be unfair? So he's been released, but we'll see if that actually can go ahead. I'm sure it could be vetoed. Who knows? Anyway, back to the table and such like that was with on the Tato name, wasn't it? So Sprungfelt 2 points clear of Boston with Mega Horse, Badgers and Grove all there on 16 points now. 3rd, 4th and 5th, and Fortuna 4 points further back, but in the top 6.
Yeah, a few in the mix, chasing pack. Sprungfell looked quite good, very solid defensively with that sort of 3-2 they played tonight, sort of shut out the 4-1-3-2. Be interesting to see what they come up with next week. Great win for the Shanghai FC.
Now just 2 points adrift at the bottom of the table. Catching up to Aussie's Dream, Pelham and Flamingos as Gondor moved to 10th.
Yes,
that's huge.
Making moves, Gondor. Blues on the first game under Rocks. Not impressing. They'll be looking.
Just a quick note there from Tato. There no DMC for Asta this week.
I don't believe him.
Well, I don't know. Maybe something different. But he says, cheers. Thanks, Tato. Thanks for coming and watching tonight, as ever. Mike, have to be looking at 4 AMCs next week.
Yes.
We shall see. And cheers, Stu, for being around as well. I'm just going to click through and see if the Woodhouse thing goes ahead. So I don't think it'll have happened yet. Oh, very disappointed. Yeah, so he has been released. He has been released by the club. Curtis Woodhouse is now a free agent, and as a result, Pelham will promote Steve Crowdson to the first team, and they have a 24-man squad for the rest of the season.
Can we add Curtis Woodhouse to Fife and Shortlist?
I think just sign him up for Gondor. So looking to fixtures for next time, which is 4 days away in this, but obviously next Monday night. Badgers versus Grove, that'll be an interesting one there. And Boston versus Blues. Can Rocks sort out Greavesy for us? Mega Horse Pelham. Pelham, of course, their suspended player is nowhere to be seen. And then Flamingos Danglies, Fortuna versus Red West, and Gondor Sprungfelt, and Divisionale versus Aussie's Dream. That's going to be quite the game there. And I think Smuts wants to be on commentary next week, so we'll be enjoying that one, especially against a resurgent Divisionale team. It's an interesting set of players up there at the top. 7 players on 8 and above at this stage of the season is not too bad.
Yeah, for sure.
Goals, Zowli still topping the way with Zagara following now. And
Zagara doing bits.
Yashvili's 4th for the season is enough to put him in that big tally there with Romeo and Nedved also scoring some goals. Assists, Rayad, Hoare, Anderton the top 3. So, I don't think any of those got them in this round at all, but they are 2 clear of everybody else. And man of the match is Darren Anderton with 3 so far. Barthez with 2 for Sprungfelt is quite interesting. Yellow cards, Lee Boyer's 5. He must have only played about 5 games. 5 games, 5 yellow cards.
Yeah, that's about standard. Standard Lee Boyer.
Horrendous. Red cards mostly come for Mega Horse, I think. Curtis Woodhouse now being released. Mega Horse with 3, Blues with 3, Sprungfelt. There were 2 Pelham ones, and a Fortuna. And Danglies, of course. So, heading back, just a reminder of the next round's games. Thank you very much, Scott, for coming along tonight.
No problem at all. Thank you for having me. It's been good fun.
Yeah, and if you want to come back again later in the season, of course, more than welcome to do so. You can, this division or have a look at the other one. It's up to you.
Yeah, I think if I'm completely honest, the Division
You don't
One
care about the
squads are a little bit boring for me. I like the originality of these squads. I like the fact that I can come and influence Fife into absolutely combusting with 30 minutes to go. Yeah, it's been good fun. So I'll definitely be back later in the season. Thanks for having me. Thanks everybody who's tuned in, and come and support Bostock in the Super League on Wednesday.
And who have you got this week?
Massive game. Second versus third against Colchester.
Oh, of course, yes. I even called that one out. It was a good game last night. I remember now. Yeah, because it's the key one in the battle for the escaping all those playoff matches. Fife, a quick message there. West Country Flamingos. We may have lost the battle, but we will win the war against boring defensive teams. That's his latest tweet to go out there. So please make sure you get on the end of that one. I'll just retweet that for the world to enjoy.
I will make my way over there shortly.
Thanks again to everyone, and good night.